Hey guys, Vesper here, and welcome to another episode of Indiecredible. For all of you off-the-gridders, it's that time of year again. You know, that time of year when it's okay to sluttify innocent woodland animals and wear offensive Halloween costumes. P.S. It's never okay. So, since Halloween has lost its spirit amidst the wonder of a society we live in, I figured I'd do my part and introduce you guys to some of my favorite free horror indie titles you may or may not have heard of. First on the list is SCP Containment Breach. This game is based on the SCP website, which is basically a fake database detailing all manner of supernatural entities and anomalous objects which have been contained by the SCP Foundation, whose sole purpose is to research them. Playing the role of an unwilling test subject, you are assigned to a testing session with SCP-173, a grotesque-looking statue that instantly kills anyone not maintaining a direct line of sight with it. Things go horribly wrong when a brief power failure causes SCP-173 to escape and go on a murderous rampage. What follows soon afterwards is a tense and creatively crafted horror game, which has you further exploring the SCP facility for a way out. Needless to say, you'll encounter other SCPs along the way, while constantly worrying about your need to blink in-game in relation to your murderous statue friend. Next up is a little game called Homesick. You play a young woman checking up on her friend who has moved into a new home that was the site of your family's gruesome massacre 10 years prior. Shortly after arriving, you find yourself being hunted by the same slasher that struck a decade ago. Played on a 2D plane, Homesick relies on your limited range of mobility and sight in order to deliver some quality scares. You'll have to rely on hiding and running in order to survive your encounters with the masked killer. This creates some genuine tension as he can appear behind you at any given moment. Third on the list is Imscared. Imscared is a first-person survival horror game with a twist. First off, not only is the art style unique, but the game prides itself in attempting to mess with you. You play a nameless protagonist who finds himself trying to navigate a strangely isolated place while avoiding a ghost known only as Whiteface. It's a very short experience, but it manages to be memorable. Just trust me. Fourth on our list is Witch. While not outright riddled with jump scares, Witch is a heavily atmospheric game with a desaturated color scheme, giving it an unsettling feeling. Ultimately, the less said about this game, the better. Just know you'll wander around a 2-story house, gather keys, and unlock doors. And the fifth and final game closing out our list is Kraven Manor. Kraven Manor is another example of quality over quantity, which seems to be a recurring trend with these free indie horror games. Finding yourself in an empty mansion, Kraven Manor has you roaming around solving puzzles while searching for scale model pieces, which you'll use in order to open up other previously inaccessible areas of the massive abode. Along the way, you'll encounter a possessed bronze statue that is out for blood. Thankfully for you, it doesn't like being looked at and only moves when you break in line of sight with it. Surprised at the lack of slender? We're not. Game really wasn't that scary. Alright, all you ghouls and gals, that about does it for today's episode. As always, feel free to like, share, and above all, subscribe. And of course, if there's an indie title that you'd like me to review, go ahead and feel free to leave it in the comments section below. And as always, until next time, sayonara, you Indiecredibles.